Hello, YouTube. It's your boy, Bugboy1014, coming at you for more Yugioh Master Duel. And my alarm is going off. Let me shut that off. Here we are. Let me send out the invites to everybody. And then we'll, get started. Apologies for the gross noises. Alright. Now that I sent the invites for everybody, I'm going to get some water. I'll be back, and I'll give people time to join in. Never mind. Let me open up my core temp thing. Whatever. Alright. So, yep, I'll be back. Ugh. portals, it can be kind of hard to maneuver. Hello, I am back, and yes, we play in Yu-Gi-Oh! I play a multitude of different decks. Also, let me move that grabbing water off the screen, because I am back from being. How you doing, Darth? Mainly, I run a combination of Sky Strikers, Despots, Batterymen, and I also have currently a trap deck that I'm building, on top of a few other decks that I'm building, but the ones I currently have fully assembled are Batterymen, Despots, and Sky Strikers. I've heard Vampire and Necromancer decks. Ah, okay. The Innar Festival is underway. A new selection pack is here. Huh, okay. New event, Innar mission. Complete new daily missions, you get more gems. Innar events. Okay, so only Innar rarity cards, I'd assume, is what this means? Okay. I don't actually have a deck build for that yet. Okay. Unfortunately, my vampires aren't as good as they could be. Yeah, that sometimes happens. It's like you like playing a certain deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, but then they just kind of don't perform well, so you end up having to make a different deck anyway. I hear your wind. You can stop howling at me. The wind is howling outside. Okay. Let's look at our missions. Login bonus. Spectator duel live, duel and solo, spell card in ranked, win a duel in ranked, destroy a card in ranked, activate a trap in ranked. Inflict damage in expedition, win a duel in expedition, special summon in expedition, normal summon in expedition. Monsters on your opponent's field are destroyed in expedition and duel. Okay. That should be fine. I believe I have this test deck that does numbers, if I believe, in the heart of the cards harder. Okay. Also, be shrink these a little bit. There. Now they're shrinked a little bit. Let me move myself down. Ah! Didn't mean to drag you all the way up there. There. Okay. Now we're good. How's the frame rate looking, by the way? Not that great, honestly. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel never has great frame rate in my further streaming, so I'm used to it not being that great. Anyway, so I think I need to build a deck for the NR expedition. Create a new deck. Okay, so I can only add N and R cards. Got it. What do I have a lot of? Despots or NNRs. Oh, interesting. So what is an NNR? Huh. Most of the Despots are actually NRs, which is interesting. I can make a Despot deck. The only one that isn't is like 9, and I don't really need 9. Okay. Oh, but 2. 2 is not an NR. Oh, that bites. There's one of my main combo pieces gone. Okay. I mean, I could still make a Despot deck, but it's just kind of... Ew. What about you, Batteryman? don't have 9 volt. Ooh, that's rough. If we had 9 volt, I could do this, but well, don't have industrial strength, which is more minor. Hold on, let me do a little bit of research. Before I do that, I'm going to do a little bit of research on, like, what's actually a good deck for the NR tournaments, because I don't actually know offhand. And I got plenty of NR chips, so I might as well just, you know, craft something. Anyway, is there any solo mode stuff? Yeah, duel and solo mode. So I want to start in solo mode this time. Because I just feel like starting in solo mode. Actually, you know what? No. Let's just do solo mode. Alright. Do we have the stuff to do this now, or is this still locked? No, that's still locked. Okay, Paroxene Warriors. Gem Knights. Let's continue this. Alright, now we need to fight them with our own deck, and I'm not going to use Sky Strikers this time, I'm going to use Despots. So I just feel like using Despots. Alright, ooh! That's awesome, I'll take that. Alright. Well, we opened up 3 in Machine Dupe, so we opened up with the nuts, basically. Which is always quite nice. Because we can use 3. All the Despots, by the way, are 500 attack, 500 defense machine monsters. Not 2. We can summon out Despot 2. And when he's special summon, he can search as a card. And I'm going to have him surge. What do I already have? I already have a 10 scale. I'll have him surge. The 1 scale. However, now, because that's happening there, I can now dupe this, which can get me 2 more. And when each of these are special summoned, you like the Chain Ash, the Machine do. No thank you. When each of these is special summoned, they also get me searches. Okay. So I have a good search. You get to attack twice, right? This card can make up 2 attacks on monsters. Okay. What do you do when special summons? That card in the field, destroy it. You also in the field, change spell position. And I'll just do that one. No. No. Is there anything from the special deck? From the extra deck I want to summon? I could summon Herald. I don't know if I want to. This link card and any monster it points to cannot be shown by battle. Your opponent's card, or cannot be shown by battle. Your opponent's card effects. Two monsters, you switch control of them. Well, I could take his Gem Knight, but I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. I don't think I do. Pendulum Choker. Coming up. That's spot 5. Alright. And now, since I summon this, I get to pop the back row. Which I don't even know what it is, but okay, it's called the Haunted. Alright. If this is an attack mode, I'd probably be able to OTK here, but otherwise, let's punch you in the face for a lot. Keep in mind, I am doing solo campaign stuff, so I'm not expecting this deck to be fully super powerful with like hand traps and stuff. So that was an easy clap. You let me go second, game. This happens. Now look at what you've done. I'm not Gem Merchant. I cannot unlock this. So let's see the end of the Gem Knight story. Hey, Surtur, since you're in the Twitch chat, did you miss the intro to the Gem Knights story before we go to the ending of it? And yes, it is pretty much just going over dual terminal lore. Because this is straight up Gem Knights and dual terminal lore. Because I could go over the scenario intro if you wanted me to. Is basically all I'm saying. I don't care, either way. Okay. I'll go ahead and go over the intro. The Pyrexene Warriors. Pyrexene Warriors, the Gem Knights, with hearts of justice. Diligent in their training, but reluctant to utilize their prowess in battle. They led a peaceful existence. Oh, well, okay, I'm already doing it. However, those calm days were threatened by the Flame People, the Laval. The aggressive nation of Flame Warriors sought to invade the land of the Gem Knights. Averse to this fruitless conflict, the Gem Knights did not aggressively engage them. But for the Laval, the inaction of the Gem Knights was fuel to the fire. Day by day, collisions increased between the Laval and the Gem Knights. At last, the Gem Knights resolved themselves to a full-on conflict to protect their homeland. The Gem Knights possessed a core that shone like a gem, which they activated as a force to aid them in battle. In addition, they could utilize the core to fuse with other knights to become even more powerful warriors. The fused Gem Knights include the following. Gem Knight Ruby, who repelled the enemy. Gem Knight Aquamarine, who defended its companions. Gem Knight Topaz, who tormented its opponents. Okay. Sorry, if I had saw that you posted that second thing before, I wouldn't have done that, or whatever. I only saw the first message. Um, okay. Let's see what the actual conclusion is. At first, some of the Gem Knights laid in waiting for their enemies, but eventually they decided to join the fight, one by one. In the midst of fierce battle, the Gem Knights fused further into an even more powerful force. However, this clash between the tribes was only the beginning of the turmoil that followed. The Gem Knights, who had risen to defend their comrades, were now caught up in the great swell of battle. At first, they loathed the conflict, but to counter that great evil, they eventually fused with other races to grow more powerful, such as the Vylon, who descended from heaven, or even the Laval themselves. The Gem Knights, the Pyrexene warriors, with hearts of justice. Their fates shall unfold in glorious detail in another tale. Yeah, and it doesn't actually go over the full details of them. That's interesting. Sure, why not? Not that interested in it. So, hey, Serter, what do you do as your NR plus deck? Because I can't seem to figure out one that I want to do. Okay, I got a soccer ball. Cool. So I guess Melodious is when we're going to talk about Crystal Rose. Potentially, yeah. New gate options. Oh, interesting. Ah, Gladiator Beast and Karakuri. Karakuri I'm interested in just because I'm trying to get certain Karakuri cards anyway. Probably not the ones that they'd give me, but either way. Oh, also Yugioh is available, which is interesting. Um, yeah, what deck do you use for the NR tournament? I'm curious, because I have not been able to figure out what I want to use. I'm playing Pacifist with Paleos and Aquamarine Stage. Ooh. That's not one I would have thought of. Huh. I want to do Karakuri. Karakuri are characterized by their mechanical movements, such as their ability to change formations. Think of something that accelerates them even further. It's time for fierce Karakuri to head into battle. Okay. The origins of Karakuri. Studying the origins of Karakuri. Have you heard of a tome called Karakuri Anatomy? What are the inner workings of the Karakuri? How did they come to be? All one could want to know of the Karakuri is contained in this tome. Let's unravel the mysteries of this tome and delve into the deep world of the Karakuri. A long time ago, there was constant conflict between the nations. The turmoil was the very picture of hell itself. In the midst of that era, in order to quell the strife, one feudal lord assembled the greatest Karakuri craftsmen. The feudal lord proclaimed to the engineers, I want you to develop soldiers stronger than firearms. This is an important command. I want you to give it your all. Immediately, the engineers set out to develop devices capable of wielding great power. Crucial to the devices were golden gears located in a faraway country. The feudal lords granted the engineers' wishes, successfully acquiring the golden gears, and thus mysterious devices of untold power were forged. Okay, so Karakuri are ancient war machines. Good to know. I guess that makes sense. After several years, Karakuri equipped with the golden gears were completed. The workmanship of the Karakuri was unrivaled. Their handiwork was impressive to all who behold it. Fortifications included Karakuri Castle, a cornerstone of armor and defense. They were now prepared for battle. Under the command of Karakuri Shogun MD-00 Beret, the Karakuri soldiers went headlong into battle. After so many battles, what a blessing to that and sorry, what? After so many battles, what a blessing that an era of calm had been ushered in. That's a very weirdly worded sentence, but okay. The era of war had come to an end. Now we'll explore what lie in store next for the Karakuri. Okay. Harry Spider. This is not even a Karakuri. I don't care what they say. This is not a Karakuri. That's like the whole, oh hey, Harpy's brother, or like Frog the Gem. This is not a Karakuri. I don't care what that's. I find it funny that they make that be the card that you get for the introduction. That's funny. Did this count, or do I need to do more solo missions? Okay, I've only dueled in solo mode once. Okay, so it's not just clear solo mode missions, it's specifically duel in solo mode. Got it. Fair enough. So I guess we have to do 2 more duels now, which should be whatever the first stage of this is. Practice. Oh, but there isn't a one for my own deck. Okay, never mind. Let's learn out how Karakuri work. Sure, I already have a good idea, but sure. The reason why Frog the Jam isn't a frog is because of the fact that in the OCG it's not named Frog at all. I believe it's just named like Swamp Jam or something like that in the OCG. That's the reason why the actual official ruling is that it's not. Is because of the OCG name. Whereas Karakuri Spider is actually called Karakuri in the Japanese. So it's just kind of weird. It's one of those cards that's like it's really kind of not connected, but whatever. So Summon Skull should not be an Archfiend. Well, in Japanese, it's called in Japanese, Summon Skull is called Archfiend of Lightning. Which honestly, to me, Archfiend of Lightning is a much cooler name than just Summon Skull. But that's just my own opinion. You can blame 4Kids censorship for that one. Because I believe Archfiend of Lightning was in the anime before it became a card, which is why they censored Summon Skull in the anime, because they didn't want you mentioning beings, evidently, back then. I'm waiting for the TCG exclusive Archetype B Trooper to be poured into Macedon. Well, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but yes, that would be nice. I'm waiting for matches. That's more what I'm waiting for, not B Troopers. A deck that can add any insect when Max C is at 3. Yeah. What makes a Karakuri deck unique? Some Karakuri monsters may seem weak at first glance due to, changing battle positions. I know how this works. I am not Bus Boy, I am Bug Boy. There's a difference. Also, hello. How you doing, Grotrack? Use cards in your hand to get multiple card carry monsters on the field and win Duel. First summon card carry Komochi and Nishi. Yes, because he gives me an additional normal summon. It's okay. You can summon one or more card carry monsters this turn. Yep. Yep. I know how card carry works. Summon her. And this can now sync for a 7. Heard like Joe already told me how these guys work. I'm good. Summon the big one. And when the big one is summoned, it can summon one from the deck. Do I have a frog? That's the question. Hope I do. Special summon. Oh. They want you to summon a very specific thing with high attack from my deck. No, I want to synchro up. Whatever. More attack power, I guess. Use the equip spell to summon Karkari Soldier. Ah. Why wouldn't I summon it in defense and then switch it to attack to trigger its effect? Oh, I guess because this thing doesn't have an effect that triggers off of that. Never mind. That's the reason why. Oh, I see. Is this Hearthstone or Yu-Gi-Oh? This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Oh, wait. I forgot to change the stream title. Whoops, hold on. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. My bad. I always forget to do that. I always forget to change the stream title. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I've been working on a revamped version of it. You want to go over some of those comments now? I don't mind just chatting about it while I play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time to kill him. And done. There we go. Yeah, sure. Why not? You mentioned you had like 20 comments of it, so I'm like, sure, might as well go over it while we're here. Many Karakuri monsters have an effect that makes them appear defensive when selected as an attack target. Its low defense make it look like an easy target for destruction battle, but can be aided by Golden Gearbox, which increases defense by 1500, and Karakuri Trickhouse, which destroys cards when their battle position is changed. Be careful about your opponent's spell traps. Sure. These comments are in no particular order. Some are issues, some are general, and a couple are potential improvements. Okay, I'll take any feedback. Okay, so now they've taken the reins off, and I can just kind of do things. Okay, so if this card is in your hand, you target one card you control, change spell position, and produce best on this card as a tuner. Okay, what's in my extra deck? Super Heavy Samurai, the level 7, level 8. The level 9. Okay. This card's in attack position. This card's normal summon add one card curry deck. So now I can summon the level 7. You control a machine monster target with level 4 or lower monster. Graveyard special summon that target, but expects them negated. Selectable precept card curry. You control add one level 4 or lower card curry from your deck to your hand. Change the opposition of the selected monster. Okay. Now I want to add Curry Catchin. The first one is the cost of the quick chicken. It is priced 50,000 gold, which is by far the highest costing item in the item shop. Is this planned or the website? That's the one that increases movement speed, right? Yeah, that's planned. And that's mainly just because movement speed buff is so good, because if you get higher than 10 movement speed, you just entirely break everything. And you basically, if you get higher than 10 movement speed, you basically get unlimited movement speed, from what I remember. Which just entirely breaks everything. So that's part of the reason why it's priced that high, is like, you kinda aren't meant to get it. Okay, someone that's, not to say it's impossible to get, of course, it's not, but it's level 4 or lower, yes it does. I thought, but the Turbo Pepper increases agility, doesn't it? I thought it's the Turbo Pepper that increased agility. Let me double check that real quick. No, I did not type that in. I believe I might have actually swapped those out, if I remember correctly. I might have actually swapped those effects out. Where I made the Turbo Pepper increase agility and the Legs of Haste increase movement speed instead. Because it never really made sense to me that the Legs of Haste don't just increase movement speed. Okay. Apologies if it's confusing. I think I might swap those out, though. Either way, that's minor. I could just always put that back. Okay, this is a tuner. Yeah. Let's summon out a frog. Thanks to Hard Leg Joe, I know kind of how this works. Okay. Activate this. Targeting the frog. You add this to hand. And summon another frog. Okay. Either way, besides that, is there any other comments that you had? I'm just curious. I'm just doing curry combos, don't mind me. Burrito. Yes, activate the effect of Burrito. Okay. Okay. That's just go 7. Controls banish it. And end my turn. Okay. Mounted battle position change it. Place one card for on this card. He sends this card to the graveyard. Draw one card for each card for counter. Okay, no. The second item I noticed was that the drop rate of enemies appears to be close to 100%, but the only item that has ever dropped is their weapon. Was that intended? Okay. The only dropping a weapon is more a limitation, but yes, the drop rate of enemy stuff is intended. Yes, it was intended. The second item I noticed was that the drop rate of enemies appears to be close to 100%. Yeah. Um, that was intended. The drop rate being that high. But it only ever drops the first item in their inventory, is the issue. So it will only ever drop the actual weapon. In the new version, I was debating if I just remove that, because that was an idea I had before, but I don't really like it anymore. But that was definitely something I intentionally put in before. No, I was trying to get back then. I was trying to get it so they would just drop all of their equipment, like the whole thing of looting the body, sort of thing, like you do in D&D. But there was no way I could get it so that they drop all of their equipment. All right, open this out. It would be good in the first battle to help give you initial parts and loot, but otherwise I'd suggest leaving it. Yeah, I was going to leave it as normal. That was just an idea I had back in the past when I was younger, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be neat if this is a thing? This is more realistic. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a super big fan of it now, personally, which is the reason why I'm not going to be including it in the remake. That was just an idea I had back then that I don't really like now. Okay, so what am I trying to summon? I'm trying to summon that one thing. So I have a 1, a 3, and I need to get 8. So that means I need to summon a 5. You're a 5, right? Yes, you're a 5. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Single shortcut. Yes, activate the effect. I didn't say I'm looting the body, but it simply fills your inventory with junk. Yeah, well, you're meant to sell the junk for gold. It's meant to be a way to get gold as an income. But yeah, it never really worked well. Even with automatic passing in battle turned on, it still never really worked well. Which is why I'm just remaking the mod from the ground up. And I should just OTK. Comment number 3. The cost of shower curse seems rather low to me relative to its usefulness. Did you change the shower cure? Did you change the effect as I simply looked at its cost? Um, no, I didn't change its effect. Also, that's the cost it has in game. That's its normal cost. You just normally can't buy it. Is the thing. It's weird to me that it costs so little. Yeah, but normally you just can't ever buy it from a vendor. But that's its normal price. I didn't actually change the shower cure price. All I did was make it available to be bought. Okay. I never sold it before, so I was not aware of that. Yeah, it's relatively cheap. Shockingly. I have sold it before because I wanted to buy like a fancy new weapon, and I was kind of surprised at how little it actually sells for. Um, and if something has a sell price, then that means it also has a buy price, because the sell price is calculated based off the buy price, even if it's never available to be actually bought. I could bump that up if you feel that I should. I don't mind bumping it up a bit. That's fine to me. Yeah, I'm not sure if Shower Cure goes to deals, but yeah, uh, I I believe it probably does. Okay, duel in ranked, destroy a card in ranked, activate a trap in ranked, activate a spell in ranked. Okay, so let's just do some ranked duels, and uh, I think I'm just going to do some Sky Striker ranked duels and just call it a day. In terms of like ranked, because I mean I should be able to get everything accomplished here. In later strategy course games, the series cost strategy is between 10,000 and 20,000 depending on the game. Yeah, let me look up what its actual original price was in the first game. While my opponent's taking their turn. What the heck is this? Tri Brigade? Aloof. What are they? Oh, they're doing Thunder Dragons. Okay. 5,000 gold. It's 5,000 gold pieces in the original training horse. Yeah, I know, but I wanted to look up what it was originally, and yeah, it's originally 5,000 gold in Training Force 1. I believe Shower of Cure is not as good as Aura 4. I'm mainly curious what you think. One of the things I'm mainly curious about is what you think of the magic system. Because that's the one I changed the most, if, of anything, other than, like, enemy stats. Oh, they are. I thought they had different effects labeled in the actual code. But okay. Ah, max of spells. Okay. Yeah, which those will change, by the way. Hero will still be a thing, but I'm going to be swapping out the other two spells that he gains for different ones in the final version. They're going to be more unique spells just for him. Well, for him and Kane, but well, actually, I was debating whether to give him two more unique spells or just make it so that all he has is Egress and Hero. Yeah, they all seem to work fine, and they work exactly how I described them working, which is what I was hoping for. Okay, so what do you do? If Thunder wants to start activate, you can exchange one card in the field. Cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. Activate this in response. I did run into a glitch in the game, which I have been using the D-Soul spell a lot. I never really considered D-Soul all that strong, but okay. What glitch did you run into? I'm curious which one, because I know there's a couple. I'm just curious which one it was that you ran into. Huh. Interesting. Basically, Max did double attack. The first attack hit, the second attack hit. Max then glitch, attack a third time, a fourth time, and a fifth time. Hit and kill. Um, that's actually not a glitch. That's a setting you can turn on Shining Force 1 to add in random chances that they just do additional attacks beyond the second. It's buggy, though. So I'm not going to include it in the final version, but that's actually just a setting I was messing around with. That you can, yeah, for example, set so it does more than just two attacks. So no, that wasn't actually a bug. That was an intended thing, but I can't get it to work right. So yeah, currently the problem is if he does a triple attack, it just keeps going until the enemy's dead. And I can't seem to get it to just do three. I just wanted it to be able to do three. So yeah, it only happened once, but it was unexpected. Yeah, no, it has a random chance of happening on top of a random chance for doubling. So, if you double, then it also rolls a random chance for a three. But the problem is, if it rolls a random chance for a three, it'll do a four and a five. So, that's the thing. I'll grab. I want to send Widow Anchor to the grave. That way I can grab it. Something rather interesting happens when you get Max. When Max hits MP. After the line saying Max gain MP, there will be a line that just says 0. Ah! Um, that I can actually explain that one if you want me to. I don't know why that specifically happened in this case, but I do know what the 0 means, if you're curious. Okay, so basically the 0 means that the game is trying to pull a text line that does not exist in the actual code of the game. It was trying to find a text line that doesn't exist, and if it tries to find one that doesn't exist, it just defaults to putting a 0 instead. That's basically what that means at that point. Is that for some reason it was trying to pull a text line that doesn't exist. Yeah, it's an infinite loop breaker. It's also a crash stopper. It's the thing in the game to stop an infinite crash. Which is quite nice. Yeah. As I said, I've been messing around with the code of the game for many years now, so while I'm not super technically good at it, I do know a lot of little things like those. Nope. Most of the rest of my comments are more cosmetic or suggested improvements. Cosmetic? What cosmetic things are you talking about? That I'm genuinely curious about because cosmetic I'm not super good at, but okay. As for suggested improvements, I mean, lay them on me. I don't mind hearing them because I'll implement them into the final version, probably. If they're within my capability to do, of course. I am not a Shining Force wizard. The Demon Ring is spelled Demon Ring. No space. Oh. That's if. Okay. Sure. I could fix that. That's no problem. Ah. I thought you meant cosmetic as in, like, the graphics. I didn't know you meant as in, like, the names. Naming wise, sure, you can lay those on me, because I'm just like, I'll look at some of those. One thing I did notice is that in Battle 1-2, the bottom right Dark Dwarf does not have a shield, his shield ring equipped. Oh, that was just a mistake. Also, what did you think of the actual stats for, like, the weapons and the rings? That's actually a good question. I'm actually curious about that. What do you think about all of that? But that's just a small technical detail that I can fix. You know, it's not a super big concern. Infinite impermanence. How about no? The stats gains for the weapon seems to make sense given the HP of the enemies. It also makes the enemies really tough to fight. Yeah, that's where I'm. That's one of the things I said was like, oh hey, the difficulties increase just because suddenly a goblin can one shot you early game, and it's like, oh wow, okay. The rings really give good random challenges to the team. Yeah, and they also like provide you with a good way to like customize your own team to fit your playstyle. Do you want to go for glass cannons? Do you want to go for defensive tanks? You know, what do you want to do? Do you want to go for super speedy boys to get lots of turrets? Or just people with very high mobility? You know, you can do a bunch of different things. And that's another thing I was trying to do. It's just like, oh hey, all the customization. It's a really cool idea I had, and I'm like, because I can add more variety to the game, more reason to replay it. You know, you can replay it and try, for example, an all offense build where you just do that jazz stuff. Sorry, I'm also concentrating on this, so my thought process is not perfectly fluid right now. Apologies for that. I did try to get the rings to break, but they never did. Did you remove the chance? Yes, I removed the chance for a ring to break. I did in fact remove the chance for rings to break. You don't need to worry about that anymore. Because that always annoyed me. Because I'd always forget, and then I would just, oh hey, well guess what? Your ring broke because you forgot. It's like, oh no. So, no, I just removed it. Huh, that was an interesting interaction. I believe weapons can still break. It's just the ring specifically that cannot. The crit value was easy to find and understand. Good job there. Thank you. Yep. Crit value is a normal thing. It's a hidden stat that exists in the game. But now you get to see it. I just made it visible. Along with enemy level is another hidden stat in the game. I did notice the enemy level, however, I did not see a change between battles, so I just thought it was just part of their new stats. Um, Enemy levels does not change from battle to battle. It changes from monster to monster. That's about it. It's largely a arbitrary and not useful number. The only thing it really determines is how much experience that you get from them, and that's it. It doesn't actually determine anything else other than that, so it's not really something useful. I would keep suggesting, if possible, increase the level a bit for the for the same monster in different battles if you can. It makes some monsters never simply become useless for experience you play through battles. That is actually not possible because in the game, monster stats are not coded per level; they're coded per monster. If I want to do that, I'd have to make a different monster of the exact same type and appearance for each level that they appear in. So actually, that's not possible due to coding limitations. But that would be nice if I could do that. But that is actually not possible, unfortunately. This is just going to be negated, right? I'm like 99% sure that's just going to be negated. Oh, it's not, actually. Surprising. Okay. Oh. It was very tough, but doable. I would have Max start with the shield ring for those people who like to do minimum party challenges like yours truly. I was able to do with the shield ring with have Max solo the first battle. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. And yeah, actually, believe it or not, in my actual revamped version, I did give him a shield ring. What did you think of the whole Max starting with a long sword instead of a middle sword? That's the tiny little touch I wanted to do, just to make Max feel even more special. He's kind of supposed to be special. Yep. So, does this have the difficulty that you wanted it to now? That's fine with me. It makes him stand out. Additionally, it does make sense since the merchant sells you just about everything under the sun. Yeah, pretty much. And that's also another thing, too, is the fact that if you want to, for example, save up a bunch of money to get a really strong item, you can now do so. Or if you want to, spend money to get item improvements as they're available, that's also doable. It's up to you. It's a give and take of like, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? I am actually in the second battle right now. Once I win this battle, I'll see how the weapon merchant acts in Guardiana. Oh! You have not actually gotten to the weapon merchant. Yeah. The weapon merchant's the exact same way, where he sells pretty much every weapon in the game, except for, like, a few specific ones. And that even includes things like the Doomblade and the Katana, if you wanted to buy those. But, of course, they have the requisite price to match. Because in a lot of cases, when there was a default price, I didn't change the default price. And if there was not a default price, I added in a default price I add in a price that makes sense. If there was a pre-existing price, though, I didn't actually change it. Which is, as you saw with the Shower of Cure, the Shower of Cure has a really low price. Yep. Also, I believe I removed the whole deals things from every item, but I'm not quite sure if I fully did that. I think I did, though. Just because... it doesn't make sense for any of it to be deals if they're just offering it as normal items. And I believe I'm dead. No, I'm not, actually, because I prevented this thing from attacking. Everything showed up in the main store, not in the deal section. Yep, exactly. That was intended. One thing that did seem odd in the second battle is the Silver Knight. His HP seems rather low, given how all the other characters had high HP. However, his attack is quite... Union Carrier. Quite good. Yes, his attack is quite good. That's partly because of the equipment that he has. Because, spoiler alert, by the way, I gave enemies equipment based off of what they are and not based off of the mission that they're in. So the Silver Knight's equipped with a weapon that's better than any other weapon at that point in the game, in terms of what enemies had equipped. So yeah, that's part of why that's the case. You know, I mean, that's part of why that he has high attack. As for why he has low HP, I'm not fully sure, and I have a theory that it's just because I actually didn't bother to go that far in the game in terms of like actually in terms of what am I trying to say? In terms of coding, I think that's around the time I started to give up was when I was like almost halfway through the monster list. Also, I just realized I think I might have screwed myself, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how I do this. Is this the difficulty that you wanted? Is this what you expected when you heard it's a difficulty hack? Yeah, that'll work. I'm curious how things will work when an enemy is supposed to have a second item naturally. I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad you're really enjoying it. Yeah, that's the type of... I made that hack just for my own personal taste, just because to me, it's like I always wanted the game to just kind of have more spice to it, and this adds more spice to it, in my opinion. I don't know how else to describe it other than spice. Ah. Well, I'm dead. I did notice that the boss does not move unless you were within his movement range. Not it is more aggressive than vanilla SF1, but he still waited for me to approach, thus I could still fake out the AI. Well, yeah, I mean, that's more just a limitation of the actual thing. Um, yeah, I believe that's more just a limitation, because I made them as aggressive as I could within the bounds of the Shining Force AI. The only way I can make them more aggressive is if I actually gave them a movement path that just moved them directly to the player's starting location. And even then, that would be cheesable in its own way because that would be scripted and not necessarily just him naturally moving and reacting. So I just kind of capped it with if you move within their movement range, they'll attack you. Imagine the circus battle, though. Just in your head, imagine what the circus battle will be like. Which, by the way, they have free. The boss in the circus battle has freeze 4. I want to point out, not just freeze 3. Okay. Well, you lost. That's fine though. You know what? Hmm. Yeah. Honestly, all right. I'm going to do something a little interesting that I don't normally do. I noticed that you made the stat gains to be more leveled out. Don't get 0 stats and then 6 stat gains. Yep, I evened out everyone's stat gains, which was on purpose. I will mention it was on purpose. Um, but I will actually be. I don't really feel like playing much more Yu-Gi-Oh today, and I honestly, I just want to work on training first. So what I'm thinking is that I might do something cool where I just kind of wrap up the Yu-Gi-Oh stream here, and then I start the stream again, and instead we're just going to be streaming Shining Force Annie. How's that sound? Or I just stream the editor and hang out for like 4 hours just working on it. I don't know. I might continue doing this. I'm not sure. I definitely I am definitely full steam ahead working on it outside of streams. You know, that's kind of my main thing right now. That works for me. I have the SF1 mod running next to me in my browser so I can multitask. Okay. And it doesn't look like we have that many other viewers right now, and honestly, I'm not super jazzed about Yugioh right now, so yeah. Alright. Let me sign off for YouTube though, and then I'll restart the stream. So, for everyone on YouTube, I did some Yu-Gi-Oh! We did the Gen 9s, we did some duels, and I'm going to be ending this early for Yu-Gi-Oh! However, that will not be the only video today. You'll get a bonus video of just me doing Shining Force Annie. Um, so yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.